Autism Speaks was founded nearly a decade ago and has raised millions of dollars towards researching causes, prevention, treatments, and a cure. And this weekend, you can help out as well.
Joining us now to talk about Michigan's Walk Now for Autism Speaks is event co-chair Rich Ansell. Rich, good morning.
Good morning.
Thanks for joining us.
No, thanks for having us.
What is autism? It's not just one thing, right?
No, it's a good question, and I could take the whole segment answering it, but the simplest way I can answer it is it's a brain disorder typified by the brain's, an autistic person has difficulty processing information and sensory stimuli. So you and I, interacting back and forth, somebody at the high functioning end of the spectrum, like with Asperger's, would have problems reading kind of nonverbal cues. You might yawn when we're talking. I would, an autistic person would just see you as being tired, where I would recognize it as you being bored, and I would, change topics. So they have difficulty with that kind of communication. At the more profoundly impacted end of the spectrum, they can be completely nonverbal because the sensory stimuli is so overwhelming that they essentially recede into a shell and try and hide from that.
Now, when do researchers think that this usually develops in children?
Very early. Typically, we see it, they're seeing it now as early as 18 months.
Wow.
But a lot of kids, my daughter was diagnosed when she was about 2.5. So pediatricians are much more aware now of what to look for. But typically in that 18 months to 3-year kind of window is when we most see kids showing the signs of it.
And what's your take, I was just going to ask, what's your take on whether or not you think vaccines have any part in this? There's been a lot of controversy about that.
It's a very contentious issue. My belief, and most of the medical world has basically ruled that out. In fact, the doctor that first started that research admitted that his research was fraudulent. And the unfortunate thing is millions and millions of dollars have been spent to not discredit that, that issue, but to research it, and the medical profession basically ruled out that that's an issue. And it's unfortunate too, because a lot of people are going now without vaccines, which presents a whole other host of problems.
Absolutely.
Now, this is a local chapter of Autism Speaks. How did Autism Speaks get started? Where is this coming from?
Autism Speaks started 9 years ago. Bob and Suzanne Wright. Bob Wright was a senior exec with GE and with NBC. Their grandchild was diagnosed with autism. And so they decided to put their resources and their time and their energy into building Autism Speaks. And in this 9 years, it's become the largest research and awareness organization in the world.
And what type of research do they do? I mean, what type of research do they fund? Do you have any information on that?
Yeah, all kinds of research. They're looking hard. There's clearly a genetic equation, so they're looking hard at mapping genetic patterns. They're looking at environmental triggers. There's no question that there's some sort of environmental trigger. We've ruled out vaccines, but there is something happening. So a lot of the research is being spent on that, and being spent on being able to diagnose it earlier. Because if you diagnose it early and intervene early, research is showing that there's a profoundly positive impact on people with autism over the course of their lives.
Well, let's talk about the event on Sunday. What time and where is it taking place?
The walk itself kicks off at 10 at Ford Field. It's the first time we've been in Detroit, so we're very excited. The program will start probably about 9 o'clock. We'll have lots of entertainment, and then we'll have speakers, and we have Home Depot and the Michigan Science Center will be spread out across the field itself with all kinds of fun family activities. So it's really a fun family event, and it's a great way to spend a Sunday morning.
And people can still register and come down for the walk?
Absolutely. walknowforautismspeaks.org/Michigan. You can register online, or if you just show up Sunday morning, we'll be able to register you there as well.
All right. Thank you so much. I appreciate it, Rich Ansell, for joining us this morning.
Thank you.
When we come back, we're going to show you this morning's